a look at an American movie. Obviously there's quite a few of them, but there's only one that's actually called American movie. Sort of like a Serbian film, but completely different. For starters, this is a documentary by documentary filmmaker Chris Smith, who would go on to direct movies such as Jim and Andy and Fire, the Netflix one, which are both arguably more popular, or at the very least more widely seen. But neither of them are, in my opinion, as memorable as American movie. As this one, it just features such well-written characters in this, somewhat traditional 3-act drama comedy movie structure. So let's just take a look. Released in '99, but mostly shot in '96 and '97, we're in the suburbs of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where we follow amateur filmmaker Mark Borchardt. Mark is in his late 20s and he's struggling to get his dream project, Northwestern, off the ground. So in order to finance it, or to finalize financing it, he decides to finish this horror short that he started some 2 years ago, Coven, or Coven?
It's pronounced Coven, man. What else could it be pronounced?
Coven. That's the proper pronunciation.
No. Coven. No. Coven sounds like oven, man, and that's just, it doesn't work.
And Mark, he's such an interesting character. He's quite ambitious and inspiring. He's funny, albeit at times unintentional. But at the same time, he's kind of delusional and, well, a bit of a screw-up.
Last night, man, I was so drunk I was calling Morocco, man. Trying to get to the Hotel Hilton at Tangiers in Casablanca, man. That's pathetic, man.
Basically, a realistic, relatable human being. And so, during this movie, we just follow him as he finishes off production on Coven. And Mark, he actually knows his stuff when it comes to movies.
You ever see The Seventh Seal, where they have these great dialogues with these great backgrounds?
And he has a specific love for horror movies, which, I always like to see.
What were the films that influenced you most when you were younger?
Dawn of the Dead, and Night of the Living Dead, and Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
He's just so passionate, and you see this throughout the movie. For example, here, where he's explaining her daughter about ADR.
When the original dialogue recording while the camera was running is not good enough because of camera.
And, oh man, this movie is hilarious. Mark, he's full of great one-liners, and seeing him struggling with basically everything, again, it's both inspiring and kinda sad. Especially if you hear other people talking about him, specifically his siblings.
Honestly, I thought that he was going to grow up to be like a stalker, a serial killer, or do something where he would try to plan someone's death,
Oof. Then, besides Mark, there's two other definite show stealers in this movie. First, there's his best friend, Mike, who used to do a lot of drugs, but now he's just like constantly mellowed out.
They're making a mockery out of my words, man. This whole thing is turning into a theatrical mockery. Do you understand that, Mike?
No.
He's actually the sweetest. A simple guy, but a loyal friend. And mostly, again, just always so out of it.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah?
Mike, dude, the flyers, man.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Hey, no,
well,
towards the end, he tries to keep Mark up, during the editing process with his drug-related stories, and again, it's so hilarious and awkward.
So I have more stories like that I could tell you too. All kinds of drug-related stories.
He's just endlessly entertaining with his unintentional life lessons.
It's like when you play the lottery, sometimes you win and sometimes you lose. But it's better than using drugs or alcohol, because when you use drugs or alcohol, especially drugs, you always lose.
He actually did the music for this movie, and it's I sincerely like it, and it's quite fitting to the whole like small town America, American dream theme that runs throughout the movie. And then there's Uncle Bill, who Mark throughout the movie tries to talk into investing in his movie, even though Uncle Bill doesn't really seem to believe in it.
Get it onto 3/4 inch, bump it down to 1/2 inch for multiple sales. What do you think about that?
multiple sales to who?
Bill, he's old, pessimistic, borderline nihilistic, and generally he's just kind of done with it all. Which, again, it's both funny and, obviously kind of sad.
Well, I don't believe nothing what you're doing.
That's during the bit where Mark tries to record, like him saying this one line for the movie for Coven. And it's arguably the best scene in the whole movie. The whole movie is kind of one of those reality is stranger than fiction type of deals. Really, you just can't come up with some of the stuff in this movie, and that's actually what I love about this one so much. Basically, it's just a fantastic character study. Mark, he's such a real person. Everybody wants to be a filmmaker. Many just end up failing. The majority does, as a matter of fact. And Mark, he's just another one in a line of ambitious filmmakers who end up struggling setting up like one scene. And that's cool. I mean, it's hard, especially when you're already struggling making ends meet and, like having to raise children. Who, by the way, he shows movies like Apocalypse Now, and he takes them for sleepovers at his editing room, and he has like a deadline editing the film. Father of the Year, much. And well, that's one of the themes here that I kind of really like. The whole 9-to-5 salary slave versus the American dream. You just can't help but to find yourself rooting for Mark as he tries to finish it short. Which, and well, I don't think this is a spoiler, as you can easily look this up on, for example, IMDb. He eventually does. And despite me having American Movie on DVD for the longest, and like the DVD comes with Coven as a special feature on it, and honestly, I've seen this movie many times over the years. I really only just now actually watched the short like Coven, and it's okay. I mean, yeah, it's okay. But regardless of how you feel about the final result, he did do it. It wasn't, an actual production, and seeing the reactions to him actually, being able to finally screen the movie to an audience, it definitely warms your heart. So yeah, American Movie. I could easily fill this whole video, like make it super long, and fill it with the endless quotes and funny situations. Really, sometimes it's just in the smallest things. Like this one scene where he's explaining, like budget related stuff.
Check this out. Fuck this, man. I'm sorry for erasing that, but it's...
But really, I'd rather have you just seeing this for yourself. The pacing is great, and with multiple memorable characters, it's just a delight to watch again and again. I've seen this movie quite a few times over the years after, like first discovering this movie, like way back. And I remember the first time that I saw it, like way back, I honestly didn't know how to like feel about it. Like whether I should like laugh at it or feel bad for Mark or be like inspired by his determination. But over the years, I've kind of just come to accept it as basically just a fantastic documentary. It's just so honest, and ultimately it is quite uplifting, I'd say. Really, I feel like in the end it doesn't really matter what you think of Mark, like inspirational or a failure. He just is who he is. And seeing him like footage of him like years later, it seems like he's always stayed true to that. And that's almost undeniably admirable. The movie ends on kind of a bittersweet moment, stating that Uncle Bill passed away, but that he did leave money for Mark to finish Northwestern, which he never did. So yeah, that's American Movie. If you're into filmmaking yourself, or you're into film in general, or really if you just want to see a great, like funny, interesting character study, give it a watch. Really, I honestly can't imagine you'd regret that. So yeah, cheers guys, have a nice day.